follow-up video. This is not a topic that's very joyful, but Channel Awesome, Doug Walker, Rob Walker, Malcolm Ray, Tamara Chambers, Rachel Tiez, a bunch of other people. Like a large community where made like funny riffing, reviewing, and then a year ago it all fell apart because of like behind the scenes problems that became pretty serious. I will say this. My biggest issue with Obscurus Lupa's handling of exposing the situation is that, one, she didn't do it early enough. I mean, she said what it was immediately, but she didn't actually turn it into a movement when it started, which I feel like, if I'm wronged, I'm gonna immediately, start a movement to get justice and, or at least expose the harassers and the enablers. So I think she waited too long, for one thing. And two, her most famous tweet about accusing Doug Walker of enablism, she ended the sentence with, plus his reviews are bad, or also his reviews are bad. And that's just a very random thing to say and had nothing to do with anything else she was saying. And it does not jibe when you try to talk about someone personally. I mean, M. Night Shyamalan makes horrible movies for the most part, but I'm not gonna call him a terrible person. Or that Mel Gibson can make great movies, but I'm not really gonna call him a good person based off of what he's done. And then there's in-betweeners, the mediocre people, personally, and everything. It's not really something worth saying. Obscurus Lupa also trying to criticize Doug's work at the same time she was trying to criticize him as a person was a horrible flaw. And that was the one thing that the Gamer from Mars was right about, that I fully support him in his criticism of this movement. So, with that being said, a long time ago I was one of the donors for that Indiegogo campaign, and it got me this. It was the one reward that was satisfactory for me. A picture of these four with signed. It was... I'm still glad I have it, because this was a huge part of my teen years, the four of them. I'm kind of in the same wavelength as Ralph the Movie Maker, where he's younger than I am, but both of us probably love the Nostalgia Critic as on equal terms when we were much younger. And I was still watching the Nostalgia Critic up until the actual controversy. There were a lot of videos I started missing. I only watch entireties of certain movies, to where he's an entertaining riffer. It's just that I feel that if he didn't make videos on a weekly basis, he would have had more better jokes. I think there's a quantity over quality thing that's going on. But out of all the problems with him, there's technical qualities that are really bothering. For one, on YouTube, there are plenty of video makers who actually up the quality to where it looks like something that aired on TV. Say what you want about the Fine Brothers, but when they make a short film, they make it to where it looks like it's on TV. Or Shane Dawson, or the guy who made Smiley. What was his name? I think was Totally Sketch. When they make major productions, they make something that looks like it could air on TV, or at least is film festival quality. So, there's I don't know what kind of camera that the Doug Walker crew have. It doesn't look like the best one. And the other issue is microphone quality. The microphone is built into the camera, and that that works against you in every way. Like, there are plenty of YouTubers that have microphones not built into the camera. I mean, PewDiePie has a separate microphone. IHE has a separate microphone. YMS has a separate microphone. A bunch of other people who make videos have separate microphones. Like, it just does not make sense. The other issue is that I always feel like the Angry Video Game Nerd was infinitely better than Nostalgia Critic for multiple reasons. I mean, AVGN might not have like the funniest jokes, but he had the best material in terms of actual critiques and filmmaking quality. Like, and the other thing is, he backs up everything he films on the hard drives, which the infamous thing about Doug Walker is that he had a habit of deleting everything he was making, which sucks because, like, when you upload something to the internet, it gets compressed, and when you delete the original files, you're removing any chance of those files once again being re-uploaded to where it's in the fullest quality. Like, you're never going to get back to that. And it also worked against him because he deleted the entirety of something that was going to be in one of his episodes, to where he eventually refilmed it after to where he had his dad playing a woman. So, and I actually loved the anniversary movies when I first saw them, or I've seen them multiple times because I showed someone else them, but they are incredibly poorly made. Like, the camera quality and audio quality and lighting quality is way worse than in any of the reviews. Like, on a technical level, it fails completely. But all three of them have their moments just because of you have all these reviewers together and they all have their personality quirks and stuff. Like, I feel like Doug Walker used to make a lot of different shows. It looks like the only one he's doing is Nostalgia Critic, but the thing is, I still watch the first watches he does. Like, I feel like when he and his brother are being themselves and they can watch movies, they're actually pretty funny. Like, these first watches are way funnier than the actual Nostalgia Critic reviews. Like, the Kangaroo Jack watch through is a million times funnier, and I don't understand what's going on. Like, maybe, like, just the reactions don't transfer well, or, like, the recreations, or there's some type of agenda with how the reviews are structured. I just don't get it. It's very sad, because when I was much younger, I always believed in Doug Walker, and that he was going to continue to get better, but it doesn't look like that's happening anymore. Still has plenty of fans, and I'm still subscribed to the channel just because sometimes there are videos that I want to see. Usually it's just the first reactions. Those are like the only ones I watch. Maybe Tamra's Never Seen, because that's just her being herself. I mean, the one thing that interests me the most is Malcolm Ray's like participation in the furry community, because I was wondering how he first appeared in an episode of Bedfellows, because most of that fan base is just furries. Even the creators are furries. But yeah, kind of feel like asking about that, but who knows. Maybe I'll meet him someday at one of these conventions, because I know I'm going to a furry convention someday. Not in a costume, just as myself. Because, like, I already present enough on my own. I don't need a suit. And as for Doug Walker, I'd highly recommend just doing videos as yourself. You don't need I really don't feel like you need a Nostalgia Critic anymore. Like, is it really that important? Is that like the entirety of what the channel is? If you made plenty of these watchers and riffs, I think people would like it. Like, build your own fan base that way. But alas, I don't know what to do. Who does? That's all I've got. Bye.